Hey everyone, welcome to Lost Creek. My name is Scott, and today's episode is going to be me swapping out the front axle of my 1988 Jeep YJ. I scored a great deal on a new Dana 30. The Jeep has a Dana 30. They're the same exact axles, except this one has got stronger axle shafts. It's in better overall condition, and it's got a nice lunchbox locker in it. So I'm going to actually revamp the axle I just bought. Go through and paint it and clean it up, make sure everything is tight and correct. And then I'm going to swap it out for the axle that's in the Jeep currently. It's kind of a hot mess, really. So stay tuned. This ought to be pretty interesting. All right, very quick backstory on why I'm doing this to the Jeep, okay? So I've wanted to install lockers on my Jeep for some time now. And the reason for that is I've got a couple of buddies that have rigs that already have lockers in them. They came from the factory that way. And I don't want to be the guy on the trail that can't get up a trail because of the capabilities of my Jeep, right? So this is one thing that I saw as a shortcoming in my Jeep. Figured, okay, let's get some lockers in the Jeep just to take care of that. So I looked up and did some research on the different types of lockers, and I saw air lockers and electronic lockers, and quite truthfully, my budget just doesn't support that right now, and I'd love to. I think the air lockers, in my mind, are really, truly the way to go. But again, budget constraints, not going to do it, but I still wanted to put lockers in the Jeep. So I did a little bit more homework, and I saw that lunchbox lockers are a very low-cost alternative in this regard. So talked to a couple guys that got them. They're fine. They work great. You know, basically what a lunchbox locker is, it's a mechanism that goes into the differential itself, and when one wheel starts to slip, it locks it, right? So that both wheels grab, right? And it's a mechanical piece inside the differential that's always there and kind of always on, if you will. You don't turn it on or off. There are no switches or air pumps or anything like that. It's just a piece of metal, right? So, and I'll show you that in the video. So I got lucky and found this axle up in Denver. A guy had it, was using it to wheel in his YJ, and he swapped over to 1 tons. He went to the extreme other route. So we were talking about it. It's got upgraded shafts in it. It's got new seals in it. All the ball joints are good, and it's got the lunchbox locker and a heavy diff cover on the front of it. So I picked up this entire kit for probably the same price, if not less, than just buying a locker itself. So I scored a great deal. My stock axle has none of those things, right? So, you know, for financially, it made perfect sense. I'll clean this one up and I will make sure it's ready to go, and I'll swap it out for the one that's in the Jeep. Perhaps I can sell the Dana 30 out of my Jeep, the stock one. Maybe I can sell it and recoup some of my costs. So this swap might actually end up costing me very little money, if maybe nothing. So kind of excited for that. So anyways, we're going to get onto this. The goal for today is just to go through and finish disassembling the axle. And I probably won't paint it today because of the weather. But for the most part, I'm just going to get it ready to rock and roll. And then we'll tackle the paint when it warms up just a little bit. Okay, so this is my Dana 30 axle that I'm going to end up putting into the YJ. I scored this off Craigslist, like I told you guys before. So I want to work on this. I put it on this cart so that I can roll it around the garage and keep it out of my way. But now I want to work on it, but I still want to be able to roll it around and keep it out of my way, but I want it up off the ground. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take this metal cart, get rid of this plywood, and I'm going to take 2 of these kind of cheap jack stands that I scored on like a clearance sale from Home Depot for like 10 bucks. I'm going to weld those jack stands to the cart and then be able to extend them up, and I'll be able to get the axle up off the ground so that I can work on it and paint it and wire brush it and cut stuff on it, etc. And I don't have to be on the ground, and I can again move it around and make it a little bit easier to use. So I'm going to knock that out to start this project. All right, it's a blustery -11 outside, and yeah, I got the heaters running and hopefully staying warm for this first part of this project. So there's my little axle cradle cart thing that I built yesterday that I showed you. That was pretty fun. That took me about 30 minutes to knock together. That was pretty cool. So anyway, here's a quick peek at the current axle in the Jeep. It actually doesn't look nearly as bad as I made it sound in the intro, but for the most part, it's just old and tired, needs refreshed, and yeah, I mean, this is the one that's going to come out, and I'm going to swap it for the one I just bought. All right, as you hopefully saw, so that tie rod end was just absolutely spinning in the control arm. So yeah, I mean, I basically just had to cut it off. So I didn't do any damage to that, but I had to cut it off. There was nothing I could do. The bolt was completely just stuck. So yeah, so I cut that off. So right now I've got everything off. Let's get that CAD off there. All right. All right, so let me kind of show you this real quick. And this is just a quick thing, right? So this fork, basically you can see it moves, right? Via that vacuum. Slides along that shaft, right? So that fork sits over this collar right here, okay? And this collar, see how that axle is separate, right? So that collar joins the axles. So making it into basically into four-wheel drive, right? So that's all it does. This is it. Well, and that's why I swapped mine out to a cable. Hey everyone. Well, if you like this kind of content and you're enjoying this even a little bit, please do me a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a penny, but maybe it'll help me get monetized. And truthfully, I can buy some more projects to do on the channel that my wife doesn't know about. And then we can have some more fun together. So if you hit subscribe, you'll get notified of new videos when they come out, and we can have some more fun together. This is gonna be a great year. All right, so this is the locker mechanism right here. And these two pieces of metal, right, there's some springs in there, and there's teeth, if you can see here, see the teeth on this part? So what it does is when it starts slipping, these two pieces of metal separate and lock into those teeth, creating essentially a locked differential, right? I know it's kind of a dumb explanation. You want to know more about it, go hit the World Wide Web. But if I spin this around, you can kind of get a better look at it. So actually, that looks pretty good. All right. Well, I've just been, I mean, I showed you little clips of it and whatnot, but for the most part, I just spent the better part of about 3 or 4 hours. Uh, First, I washed it down with heavy duty degreaser. Then I rinsed it with water. I had a water in a spray bottle, try to do it in the bucket. And that was just getting too messy. Then I went through and I scraped and scrubbed every inch of it to make sure there was no oil or dirt. Mostly it was the oil I really after. But look how nice that looks. All right, it's a different day. I couldn't find my POR 15. I am struggling to care. I'm just going to use black spray paint because black spray paint has served me well. It's going to stick to the axle just fine. I prepped it real good, and quite truthfully, then if I want to touch it up in the future, I can with a can of black spray paint, which I can find pretty much anywhere. So not a big deal. I didn't paint it that night. Now it's a couple days later, and I'm going to go ahead and knock this out. The best part about today is that I'm going to be working outside today. So, you know, right now it's about, I don't know, 50 something degrees outside. It's actually kind of nice. You know, I'm going to go ahead and spray the axle right here, not next to the white car, but right here in the driveway in the sunshine. And I'm going to go ahead and knock that out. This way I don't have to prep the garage. I don't have to cover my bikes. I don't have to, you know, protect the Jeep at all. And basically I can just go ahead and spray it outside, roll it inside when I get an opportunity. And that way I'm not airing out fumes or anything like that. So this is my plan for today. It's a beautiful day. Let's get spraying. All right, everyone, listen, that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for sticking around with me. The new axle is painted. I've checked it out real well. Everything looks great. There's no leaks. All the bushings are nice and tight. I'm pumped. As you saw, I painted the diff cover outside, still sitting outside in the sunshine, but this is all dry now. This is all ready to go. And next week, what we'll do is we will swap the old axle out, put the new axle in, do a little bit more painting here and there to kind of clean things up. I've got new leaf spring perches. I've got new shackles going in there from a guy that I found. They're actually insane. I can't wait to show them to you. So stay tuned in the next episode and we will swap out these axles.